what would be 2-3 standards that you would recommend for leaders to consider when planning for such a control plane?
Many different aspects here. Now you mentioned that we have all these models out there, right, in the market. First of all, you need to have the ability to run all these models and to pick and choose whatever is best for you. So somehow they need to standardize the way that they interact with this model and how they switch from one model to another smoothly without having issues with their quality. This is something that they need to standardize, how you evaluate everything, how you make sure that it works. Second is, as we move along, the key point for a business is the cost, right? So most probably they want to change also models to reduce their costs.
Yes.
In that case, what is the impact of choosing a lower model, right? With less capabilities, less reasoning, but lower cost in order to achieve the same. So you need to set also the economics or the FinOps, if I may say, with a way to balance everything. Then, of course, you need to, in vibe coding area, for example, right? We move from vibe coding to agentic engineering, as we say. Agentic engineering is a way to standardize how you move to production, all the different steps you need to standardize, for example, how you do testing, how you do evaluation, to perform other simulation things. So you need to have a dedicated team to standardize all these steps for a business, and then to do an integration test, if I may say, because even if you have optimized each single step, this does not mean that it works end to end. So the next step is to also have a standard integration test and to keep both business and technical people happy. That is very, very difficult. So as a summary, right? You need to have standardized the evaluation, standardize the process to production by standardizing all the sub parts, but also the complete end-to-end, and standardize your economics, your alerts, your way to understand what is going on, the observability part that is huge in order to be able to optimize continuously your approach.
Maybe how, so I've been using this analogy a bit. It's imperfect, but it's probably a fit until it's not a fit. But I think when we think about control planes, it's almost like the equivalent of how we think about human resource management, but it's AI resource management as well. And so like what I mean is, we need a common plane where we can keep a track of all of this AI that's deployed into our business that we can use to train, to deploy, to performance manage, right? So like, are they staying within the evals? Are they breaching guardrails, etc.? And this is where it breaks with the human analogy to upgrade. If something like the AUA, the European AI regulation changes, like can we upgrade at once uniformly? And then retire out the business as well when we need to as well to replace. So I think that kind of like helps me when I think about this control plane a bit as well.
But this AI control plane is very close to business.
Yes.
From what I hear. So Craig, if you were running a business, who would you trust to build and manage this AI control plane for you? Is it a business stakeholder? Is it a tech stakeholder?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I guess it talks more broadly about like who owns AI as well in the organization. I think firstly, like this is foundational technology. You can't be a control freak about trying to own it. And like I said earlier, it's activating in all teams. The balancing act that organizations need to get right is how do you manage all of this decentralized speed of adoption with centralized control? So who owns that centralized control in the control plane? I still think it is the task and the ownership of a CIO, of a technology leader, because it is a technology at the core of it. But when we talk about a CIO and even if it's a CAIO, this is a very different type of person now. These are commercially savvy, business outcome led, work back from the business to then deploy the right technology, there to think about creating enablement rather than creating centralized bottlenecks. So it's a different type of technology leader. I'll add one more thing to this. There's this interesting pattern I'm seeing, and maybe the question I can add to yours and I'll answer it myself is, who does this person report to?
Yes.
Right? Because this is the pattern we're seeing, which is increasingly these technology leaders are reporting into the business or the CIO. We've seen one life science company that I work with and one bank both move their CIO to report directly into the chief commercial officer in the last 6 months. We've seen a very big life science company combine the role of their chief HR officer with the role of the CIO, single executive person, because they know the impact that this has not just on technology, but on people. And they want one person accountable. Does that answer your question?
Yes, of course. And I'm wondering now who's ready to take up such roles because this,
it's a very important role. And I think the last thing is like, as we see, it's essentially going to be like the operational spine of our businesses as well, a very critical operational spine. So it's an important role.
For sure. And bottom up, if you want, not from the C-level stakeholders. I think center of excellence are very important, right? Collaboration across different teams is very important. You cannot have anymore a platform team, let's say, leading everything and being the huge bottleneck with this speed. I have seen this with many, many customers.
Indeed.
They used to have one central team responsible building the standards. But why is that? Give the ability to all the others to start building standards, then assess all the standards, create something unified, but give different templates, if I may say, of teams, of structure in order to innovate fast and to deliver fast as well.